I never thought a single night could tear my life in half, but the moment I walked into my house, everything changed. I still remember pushing the door open and calling, "Lena? I'm home early." I was tired, but something inside me felt strange, like my chest was warning me of something I couldn't see. I tried to shake it off and set my keys down, but then I heard it, soft whispers coming from the guest room. At first I thought, maybe Mark dropped by. He was Lena's brother-in-law, always around, always smiling like he had nothing to hide. I walked toward the hallway and said louder, "Lena? Is someone here?" No one answered. Instead, I heard her laugh, light, soft, the kind of laugh she never gave me anymore. My heart started pounding. I whispered to myself, "Why is she laughing like that?" and stepped closer. The whispers turned into hurried breathing, then the sound of the bed frame tapping lightly against the wall. My fingers trembled as I reached for the door handle. I didn't want to believe what my mind was telling me, but the truth was already pushing its way into my heart. I opened the door. "Ethan, wait." Lena jumped up, grabbing the blanket to cover herself. Mark froze beside her, his shirt halfway off. He stared at me like I had ruined his night instead of him ruining my life. My voice cracked when I said, What is this?" Lena's face twisted in panic. "Ethan, don't get the wrong idea. Please just listen." "Don't get the wrong idea?" I stepped into the room, feeling something inside me break. "I see you in bed with my wife, Mark. What idea am I supposed to get?" Mark finally spoke, his voice low. "Look man, it just happened. We didn't plan this." I laughed, but it wasn't a real laugh. It was the sound someone makes when their soul is being ripped apart. "You didn't plan this? So you just tripped and fell into my wife?" Lena snapped, "Stop being dramatic. You're making this worse." "Worse?" My hands curled into fists. "Tell me, Lena, how long?" She avoided my eyes. That told me everything. "Lena," I said quietly, "how long?" She whispered, 3 months. 3 months. 90 days of lies. 90 nights of her telling me she was tired, busy, stressed, sick, anything to avoid being close to me. I felt dizzy. Mark tried to step forward. "Ethan, listen." "Don't," I said sharply. "You don't get to say anything." He stopped. I stared at Lena, feeling my throat tighten. Why him? Why my own brother-in-law? She looked annoyed, not guilty. "Because he listened to me. Because you were always working. Because you weren't there." "And cheating was your solution?" I asked. She crossed her arms. "I'm not going to stand here and be judged like I'm a monster." "You are," I whispered, "and you know it." Mark sighed. "Ethan, we didn't want you to find out like this." I snapped, "There is no good way to find this out." Silence filled the room, thick and suffocating. I felt tears burning behind my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. I said, "I trusted you, Lena. I loved you more than anything." She whispered, "I didn't ask for that kind of love." Those words cut deeper than anything else. I took a step back. "I'm done. I can't breathe in this house anymore." Lena's voice trembled. "Ethan, wait." "No," I said. "I'm done begging to matter." I turned away from them, walked down the hallway and grabbed my keys. As I reached the front door, I heard Lena say softly to Mark, "He'll get over it." That was the moment my heart finally shattered. I whispered to myself, "No, I won't." Then I walked out and closed the door behind me, leaving my old life inside that room. I walked to my car, my hands shaking so hard I could barely hold the steering wheel. The cold air hit my face, but it did nothing to numb the pain spreading through my chest. I whispered, "How could they do this to me?" But the night stayed silent, offering no answer. "Lena, look at me," I said, stepping back into the room because I needed answers, not silence. She rolled her eyes like I was ruining her night. "Ethan, you're blowing this out of proportion." "Out of proportion?" My voice cracked. "I walked in on you and Mark. How am I supposed to react?" Clap. Mark kept staring at the floor. "Man, please, just calm down." "Calm down?" I pointed at him. "You slept with my wife." Lena snapped, "Stop yelling. You're being dramatic." "I'm being?" I felt my breath shaking. "You lied to me for 3 months." She wrapped the blanket tighter around herself. "It wasn't serious. It was just comfort." "That makes it worse," I said. "You chose comfort over your husband." Mark mumbled, "We didn't want this to get messy." "Too late," I said. "It's already ruined." Before either of them could reply, the doorbell rang. Lena jolted. That must be my mom. She was coming over tonight. I whispered, "Perfect timing," and walked toward the living room. Rachel stepped inside with her purse hanging low on her shoulder. "What happened?" I heard shouting. She looked at Lena. Sweetheart, are you okay? Lena ran to her like she was a victim. Mom, Ethan is freaking out. Freaking out? I said. Your daughter cheated on me in the guest room. Rachel frowned at me like I'd offended her personally. Ethan, lower your voice. You're a grown man. I blinked slowly. I'm a grown man whose wife just betrayed him. Rachel turned to Lena. Sweetheart, what did you tell him? The truth, Lena said. He walked in at the wrong time. The wrong time. I repeated, stunned. There is no right time for your wife to cheat. Rachel sighed deeply, like she was exhausted by me. Ethan, couples go through things. You two just need to talk calmly. Calmly? I said. You want me to sit down and smile while she destroys our marriage? Rachel crossed her arms. Marriage takes work. I stared at her. Do you think cheating is work? Lena muttered, Mom, don't start. He's acting like a victim. I turned toward her. I am the victim, Lena. She looked away. Rachel stepped between us. Ethan, be a man about this. Don't make a scene. A man? My throat tightened. I caught my wife with another man, and you want me to be polite about it? Mark finally spoke, his voice barely audible. Ethan, we didn't mean to hurt you. I glared at him. Yet you did. Lena shook her head. You always make everything about you. I'm sorry, I said. Did my heartbreak interrupt your evening? She snapped. I was lonely. You work all the time. What did you expect? I expected loyalty, I said. Respect. Honesty. Rachel said, Ethan, stop yelling at her. I'm yelling, I said, because no one here seems to understand what they did. Mark whispered, let's all sit down. No, I said sharply. I can't stay here. Rachel shook her head at me. Running away won't fix anything. I'm not running, I said. I'm leaving before I break even more. Lena scoffed. Always dramatic. I felt something inside me collapse again. You don't even feel guilty, do you? She crossed her arms. It happened. You can't change it. I swallowed hard. No, but I can walk away. Rachel said, Ethan, don't you dare leave. We're not done talking. We're done, I said. I don't belong in this room anymore. Lena muttered, you'll come back. You always do. No, I said, not this time. I walked toward the front door and Rachel followed me. Ethan, she said, don't make impulsive choices. This wasn't my impulsive choice, I said. It was hers. I stepped outside. The cold air hit me again, but this time it felt heavier. I sat in my car, gripping the steering wheel as my heartbeat thudded painfully in my ears. I whispered, how could she do this to me? But just like before, no one answered. The silence felt sharper than any knife. I stuffed clothes into my bag with shaking hands, trying to breathe through the weight crushing my chest. I can't stay here, I whispered to myself, but the sound of Lena's footsteps behind me made my pulse spike. She leaned on the doorframe with her arms crossed like I was delaying her plans. Seriously? You're leaving over this? She asked, rolling her eyes. I turned toward her. You slept with him, Lena. What else am I supposed to do? It's not that deep, she muttered. You're blowing everything out of proportion. Proportion? I said, zipping my bag hard enough the teeth scraped. I walked in and saw you with him. How am I supposed to interpret that? She sighed, bored. I'm not arguing. If you want to leave, leave. You're not even going to try? I asked. For what? She shot back. You've already made up your mind. I stared at her, wondering how the woman I loved could look so indifferent. Fine, I said. I'm done. Great, she replied, stepping aside. Don't slam the door. I didn't answer. I just walked out, feeling like the ground under me was crumbling. The moment I reached the car, I grabbed my phone and called the only person who ever had my back. Aiden answered on the second ring. Hey man, what's up? My life just exploded, I said, my voice breaking. Can I come over? Of course. Are you okay? Actually, don't answer. Just get here. The drive was a blur. When I arrived, Aiden opened the door before I even knocked. Damn, you look wrecked, he said softly. Come in. I stepped inside, the warmth of his place hitting me like a reminder of everything I'd lost. Thanks, I whispered. What happened? He asked, guiding me to the couch. She cheated on me, I said, staring at my hands. With Mark. Aiden didn't speak for a moment. Then he muttered, I knew she was trouble. I told you years ago. I know, I said, wiping my eyes. I just didn't want to believe it. Well, believe it now, he said gently. And believe this too, You deserved better from the start. I don't know what I deserve anymore, I whispered. He placed a hand on my shoulder. You deserve someone who doesn't make you feel like trash. That broke me. I felt the tears rise before I could stop them. I haven't cried in years, I said, covering my face. Then let it out, he told me. No one's judging you here. So I did. I let the pain pour out of me until my chest ached and my throat felt raw. Aiden sat there quietly, letting me crumble without trying to fix it. When the storm finally eased, he handed me a glass of water. You staying here as long as you need, he said. Thanks, I whispered. I don't know where else I'd go. That's what best friends are for. Later that night, I lay on his couch staring at the ceiling. The silence pressed against me like a weight. How did everything fall apart so fast? I murmured to myself. When did my life become something I don't recognize? There was no answer. Just the sound of my own breathing and the dull ache in my chest. I closed my eyes, hoping sleep would pull me away from the nightmare, even if only for a moment. I kept staring into the darkness, trying to believe tomorrow might hurt less. Maybe healing wouldn't be quick, but staying broken in that house would have destroyed me completely, and I couldn't allow that. Days blurred together while I tried to pretend I was rebuilding myself, but every time I closed my eyes, Lena's voice, her laugh, her betrayal dragged me back into the dark. I sat on Aiden's couch with my head in my hands when he walked in. You slept at all? He asked. Not really, I said. Every time I think I'm over it, something hits me again. That's normal. Healing isn't a switch. I just want the pain to stop, I whispered. Before Aiden could answer, his sister Maya stepped into the room. She glanced between us, her expression sharp with curiosity. I heard you two talking again, she said. Is this about Lena? I sighed. Yeah. It's been, how? Maya crossed her arms. Then I guess you should know something. Aiden frowned. Maya, don't start. No, she said. He deserves the truth. He's been blaming himself for days. What truth? I asked, sitting up straighter. She hesitated for a moment, then said, Mark's been using Lena for months. My stomach tightened. Using her how? For money, Maya said. For favors. For everything he could squeeze out of her. I heard him bragging about it at a bar once. He said she was easy to manipulate. My heart slammed against my ribs. You're serious? I wouldn't bring it up if it wasn't real, she replied. Aiden rubbed his face. I told her not to repeat that. I wasn't sure how you'd take it. How else can I take it? I asked, voice cracking. So it wasn't just cheating. It was him playing her, and she chose him anyway. Maya sat across from me. I'm not defending her, but she didn't look happy. Every time I saw her with him, she looked stressed, scared even. I shook my head. She didn't seem scared when I found them together. That's guilt, Maya said. People hide fear behind arrogance. Aiden nodded. Mark's been in deep financial trouble. Debt, loans, stupid decisions. That explains the desperation, Maya added. And Lena, she probably thought she was helping someone she cared about. I clenched my fist. Helping? She destroyed our marriage for someone who used her. Maya leaned forward. You need to understand, it wasn't just desire. It was manipulation. He saw an opportunity and took it. The words echoed in my skull until anger burned stronger than heartbreak. So he played her and she played me. Aiden placed a hand on my shoulder. You didn't deserve any of this. I know, I said, my voice low and trembling. But knowing the truth doesn't make it easier. It does, Maya insisted. Because now you see it wasn't your fault. I stood and paced across the room. He used her. She let him. And I'm the one left picking up the pieces. Aiden watched me carefully. What are you thinking? I'm thinking, I said slowly, that they didn't just betray me. They lied, manipulated, and walked all over me like I was nothing. Maya nodded. They hid everything because they knew you'd walk away if you found out. And they were right, I said. But now it's different. Aiden narrowed his eyes. Different how? I'm done being the guy who cries on a couch, I said. If Mark is using her, if he's dragging her into his mess, then there's more to this story. And I want the truth, all of it. Maya exchanged a glance with Aiden. Be careful, she warned. Anger can make you reckless. This isn't recklessness, I replied. This is clarity. Aiden stepped closer. Just tell me you won't do anything stupid. I'm not planning revenge, I said. But I'm done being blind. They tried to hide the truth from me. They tried to make me feel small. I looked at both of them, feeling something ignite in my chest. I want justice. I walked into the office trying to look normal, but I knew Lucas saw right through me. He always did. "You look dead inside," he said the moment I stepped in. I forced a smile and replied, "Rough week." He raised an eyebrow. "Week?" he asked. "Try month. Maybe year. Sit down and tell me what's going on." I didn't want to talk, but holding everything in felt worse. So I closed the door and said, "Lena cheated on me. With Mark." Lucas stared at me like he needed a second to process it. "Your brother-in-law?" he asked. "The same guy who always picks fights with you?" I nodded. "Yeah. Found them together." He leaned forward. "What did she say?" "Lies," I said. "Excuses. Nothing that mattered." Lucas tapped his fingers on the desk. "And Mark?" "He couldn't even look at me," I said. "He just stood there like a coward." Lucas shook his head. I knew something was off about that guy. Always bragging, always pretending he had money he didn't have. I frowned. "What do you mean?" "His company's failing," Lucas said. "He's drowning in debt. They're preparing to sell." I blinked. "Sell? As in anyone can buy it?" "Anyone with money and brains," he replied. "Which is you." I let out a long breath. "Lucas, I'm not thinking about business right now." "You should be," he said. "Because you're letting them break you." I sighed. "What do you want me to do? Laugh? Celebrate?" He shook his head again. "No. I want you to stop crying and start winning." I stared at him. "Winning?" "You heard me," he said. "Mark thinks he beat you. Lena thinks you're weak. But you could walk into that company tomorrow and buy the ground they stand on." The idea made my stomach twist. "That sounds insane." "It's not insane," Lucas said. "It's smart. And fair." I paced the room. "I'm not doing this for revenge." Lucas smirked. "Sure. You're doing it for business. And if karma happens to land on the right people, then good." "Lucas?" He raised both hands. "Look, I'm not telling you to destroy them. I'm telling you to rise. Right now you're letting their betrayal define you." I rubbed my forehead. "I don't want to think about them anymore." "Then don't," he said. "Think about yourself. Think about your future. Think about the fact that you can rebuild your life on your own terms." I sat down slowly. "You really think I can buy the company?" "Easily," he said. "We've saved enough. We've planned enough. And Mark's company is begging for someone to take over." I swallowed hard. "Why me?" "Because you won't run it into the ground," he said. "Because you're capable. Because you deserve a win." I thought about Lena's eyes when she looked at me that night, cold, annoyed, almost proud of breaking me. I thought about Mark's guilty face, the way he hid behind excuses. I clenched my jaw. "If I do this, it won't be for them." "Good," Lucas said. "Do it for you." I took a deep breath. "I need to see the numbers." "Already have them ready," Lucas said, sliding a folder across the desk. "I knew you'd say that." I opened it, and for the first time in days, something inside me felt steady. Not healed, but focused. Lucas watched me quietly. "So?" he asked. I closed the folder. "I'm done being broken." "That sounds like a yes," he said. I nodded. "Let's do it." I walked into the lobby pretending I was just another potential investor, not a man planning to take back control of his life. The receptionist smiled and asked, "Name?" I answered, "Daniel Price." It felt strange using a fake negotiation name, but Lucas insisted it would keep things clean. As she typed, I looked around and whispered to myself, "Mark, what have you done to this place?" The walls looked dull, the staff tired, and the silence told me more than any report could. A man in a wrinkled suit approached me. "Mr. Price?" "I'm Kevin, the financial manager." I shook his hand. "Let's get started." We walked into a small meeting room and he placed a stack of files in front of me. "Our numbers as requested." I opened the first file and almost laughed. "These debts, how long has this been going on?" Kevin sighed. "Years. The previous leadership made poor choices." I leaned back. "Previous?" He hesitated. "Mark took over, but he hasn't fixed anything." I said, "That sounds like an understatement." He nodded. "Morale is low. Payments are late. Investors are losing faith." I tapped the table. "And Mark?" Kevin exhaled heavily. "He talks big, but he's overwhelmed. We need smarter leadership." Hearing that sent a strange feeling through me. I whispered, "Smarter than Mark? That's not very hard." Kevin tilted his head. "Is there a problem?" I shook my head. "No. Just thinking." He continued explaining the company's collapse. "We're months away from shutting down if no one steps in." I flipped through pages, each worse than the last. How does your CEO handle pressure? Kevin forced a smile. Not well. He avoids responsibility. Claims others hold him back. I frowned. So he blames everyone else? Always, Kevin replied. He's fragile. I stared at the papers again. Fragile. Weak. Careless. All words that suddenly made perfect sense. I whispered, Lena threw everything away for this? Kevin asked, Excuse me? I cleared my throat. Nothing. Continue. He leaned forward. If you buy us, the staff will support you. We just want stability. I nodded slowly. I understand. After the meeting, I stepped outside and called Lucas. He answered immediately. Well? I said, It's worse than we thought. Lucas chuckled. Good. Makes it cheaper. I sighed. Lucas, he's running this place into the ground. Of course he is, Lucas said. He always pretended to be better than you. But you've always been the one who actually knew what you were doing. I leaned on my car. I thought seeing all this would make me angrier. And? It doesn't, I said. It makes me certain. Lucas paused. Certain of what? I replied, that he was never competition. He was just noise. Lucas said, Exactly. And now you're about to outgrow all of them. When I got back to Aiden's place, he looked up from the couch. Long day. I nodded. Long but needed. He asked, Did you learn anything? I sat beside him. Yeah. Mark is drowning. And he dragged Lena into it without her even realizing. Aiden clenched his jaw. You deserve better than both of them. I looked at the ceiling. I don't even feel the pain the same way anymore. Aiden asked, Then how do you feel? I answered, Cold. Focused. He nodded. Good. Use it. I whispered, I plan to. That night I spread the files across the table. Contracts, debts, assets, every piece of the company laid in front of me. I traced my finger along the numbers and whispered, I can take this. I can take everything. Lucas called again. Still awake. I said, Working. He laughed. I knew it. You're transforming. I stared at the papers. Maybe. Not maybe, Lucas said. You're becoming stronger. I let out a slow breath. I'm becoming unbreakable. And for the first time since the betrayal, I believed it. When I stepped into the boardroom, the smell of polished wood and fresh documents hit me first. Mr. Grant stood near the window, adjusting his tie, and when he saw me, he smiled like a man handing over a crown. Congratulations, he said, extending his hand. It's official. The company is now yours. I shook his hand firmly. Thank you. It's been a long process. He laughed softly. Long but worth it. You've bought yourself a legacy, even if it comes with a few fires. I shrugged. I've handled worse. You sound confident, he said. I have to be. He nodded thoughtfully. You'll need that, especially with certain personalities on staff. I smirked. I'm aware. He handed me the final binder. You sign here and it's complete. I flipped to the last page. Just like that. Just like that, he replied. A new era begins. When the pen touched paper, something inside me shifted, subtle but undeniable. Relief, satisfaction, control. All the emotions I'd lost over the past months came rushing back in a tide I wasn't sure I was ready for. Mr. Grant patted my shoulder. Welcome to ownership. I'll leave you to meet the department leads. Send in HR first, I said. Ah, he chuckled. You're starting with the tough crowd. A few minutes later, a woman with sharp eyes and a stack of folders walked in. She introduced herself with crisp authority. I'm Sophia, the HR manager. I nodded. Good to meet you. Sit. She sat carefully, studying me with professional curiosity. Mr. Grant mentioned you want to plan an announcement for tomorrow? Yes, I said. Something that sets the tone. Tone? She repeated. Firm? Inspiring? Traditional? Dramatic? Direct, I answered. Very direct. She flipped open her notebook. Then we'll need a clear message. What would you like to highlight? Accountability, I said. Transparency. And consequences where necessary. She raised a brow. Consequences. Some people have been taking advantage of the company's instability, I said. That ends now. She nodded slowly. I can work with that. She shuffled a few papers. So, for the announcement, should we introduce you first or should you address the staff immediately? Straight to the staff. She smiled faintly. You don't waste time. I've wasted enough already. She paused, tapping her pen. You talk like someone specific has pushed you to this point. I froze for half a second. Why do you say that? She shrugged. Your tone. People don't rebuild with this kind of determination unless someone broke something first. I laughed under my breath. You're perceptive. It's part of the job, she said. But I'm not prying. I just want to make sure your messaging matches your intention. My intention, I said, leaning forward, is change. Then we'll deliver change, she promised. She stood to leave. I'll draft the announcement and bring it to your office by the end of the day. Perfect. Before walking out, she turned back. Whoever hurt you, I hope they're ready. I met her gaze. They aren't. When she left, the room felt larger than before. My reflection stared back from the glass table, tired, hardened, but alive again. I gathered the signed papers and walked to my private office. The lights were still off, so the documents glowed faintly under the hallway spill of illumination. I placed them on the desk, each page a reminder that I had taken back what was stolen from me: stability, strength, control. I ran a finger across my signature, the ink still fresh. This, I whispered, is for every night I cried. The room didn't respond, but silence was enough. I didn't need applause. I didn't need comfort. I needed this victory. And I finally had it. The moment I stepped into the lobby, the entire floor went silent. Phones stopped ringing. Conversations froze. Eyes followed me like I was a ghost walking through their walls. Someone whispered, "Is that the new owner?" Another murmured, "I thought the announcement was tomorrow." I didn't slow down. I didn't need to. Every step echoed like a countdown. Then I saw him. Mark stood near the reception desk, talking to a junior analyst. When he turned and recognized me, his face lost all color. He blinked hard. What are you doing here?" I tilted my head. "You didn't hear? I own this place now." His mouth fell open. No, you're joking." "Do I look like I'm joking?" Before he could respond, Lena appeared from behind him, clutching her purse like it was some kind of shield. She breathed out sharply. "Why are you here?" I smiled. "Supporting your man today?" Her voice cracked. "I wanted to make sure he was okay." "Interesting," I said. "Let's all discuss this somewhere private." They both looked like they wanted to run. I didn't give them the chance. I pointed toward the nearest meeting room. "Inside," I ordered. Mark swallowed. "Can we talk later? Maybe in private, just you and me?" "No," I said. "Both of you. Now." Lena tugged his sleeve. "Please, let's just go." When the door shut behind us, the air thickened with panic. I sat at the head of the table and placed 2 envelopes in front of me. My voice was calm, almost too calm. "Sit." They obeyed like frightened children. Mark tried to laugh. "This is insane. You buying this company?" "Oh, why?" I leaned forward. "You really want to ask me why?" He lifted his hands. "Look, I messed up, okay? I know that. But this is extreme." "Extreme?" I repeated. "You cheated on me with someone who was supposed to be part of my life. You lied. Repeatedly. And you dragged her into it." Lena flinched. "I'm sorry. I swear I'm sorry." "Your apology is noted," I said. "But irrelevant." Mark pointed at the envelopes. "What are those?" "Your outcomes," I said. "Open them." He hesitated, then ripped his open. His eyes widened. "Termination? For misconduct? You can't do this." "I can," I said. "And I have." Lena shakily opened hers. "A restraining order recommendation?" "You stalked me after the breakup," I reminded her. "Showing up outside my building. Calling from hidden numbers. Consider this a boundary." She covered her mouth. Please don't do this to us." Mark leaned forward desperately. "I need this job. You know I need this job." "Should have thought of that," I said, "before you ruined ours." He slammed his fist lightly on the table. "I was stupid. I was going through things. I made mistakes." "You made choices," I corrected. Lena reached toward me. "Can we talk like humans? Please? You loved me once." "I did," I said. "And you threw it away for someone who used you as a backup plan." Mark snapped. "That's not true." I stared at him. "Then why did you tell her you still loved her while sleeping with someone else?" His face went completely blank. He had no answer. Lena's voice collapsed into sobs. "I don't want you to hate me." "I don't," I replied. "I'm done feeling anything for you." Mark pushed the envelope back toward me. "Please. I'll do better. Give me one more chance." "No. Just one word. But it ended everything. Silence filled the room, cold and heavy. I stood. Security will escort you out. You're not to step foot in this building again. Mark whispered, please, don't do this. I met his eyes. I already have. Lena reached out weakly. I'm sorry. I know, I said. But I'm finally free. When I walked out, their panic stayed behind like a fading echo, one I'd never have to hear again. Daniel walked into my office with a stack of folders under his arm. Everything is finalized, he said. Their records, their violations, the paperwork, you're legally airtight. I nodded. So there's nothing they can challenge? Nothing, he said. You handled this cleanly. I exhaled. Good. I don't want drama. Just closure. Daniel sat across from me. You'll get it. They're already on their way out. Together? I asked. He smirked. Barely. They're both yelling at each other downstairs. I leaned back. Let them. They did this to themselves. A moment later, I heard commotion in the hallway, whispers, gasps, the tapping of hurried footsteps. Daniel glanced toward the door. That'll be them, he muttered. I looked out the glass wall just in time to see Mark stomp toward the exit, Lena trailing behind him. Employees watched in shock. Some tried to hide their stares. Others didn't bother. Daniel crossed his arms. They're finished. Reputations don't survive this kind of exit. I know, I said quietly. He studied me. You're not smiling. Should I be? I asked. I didn't want revenge. I just wanted to stop hurting. Daniel nodded. Pain pushes people to survive. You survived. We walked to the elevator area. Whispers floated around us. Is that really the guy who cheated on the new owner? He lost everything in minutes. She thought she could get away with it. Mark finally noticed I was standing there. His face twisted. Are you happy now? He snapped. I kept my voice level. I'm done. That's all. You ruined my life, he shouted. No, I replied. You ruined your own. Lena stepped forward, eyes swollen. Please just talk to me. You've ignored all my calls. I know, I said. And I'll keep ignoring them. She wiped her tears. We made mistakes. Doesn't that matter? It matters, I said. Just not in the way you think. Mark scoffed. Everyone here is judging us like they're saints. Daniel cut in. Everyone is judging you because your actions affected the entire company. Mark pointed at him. You're just his puppet. Daniel smiled calmly. I'm his legal advisor. And I strongly advise you walk out before you embarrass yourself further. Lena whispered, please don't let this be how we end. This ended the day you betrayed me, I said. Today is just the paperwork. She stepped back trembling. Mark grabbed her arm, hissing, let's go. We're done humiliating ourselves. She pulled away. You humiliated me first. He rolled his eyes. You knew what you were doing. And so did you, she snapped. People around us pretended not to listen, but everyone heard every word. Mark stormed off toward the doors. Lena followed, but before leaving she turned back to me. I loved you, she whispered. I know, I said. But love without loyalty means nothing. She lowered her gaze and walked out. When the doors shut behind them, the tension evaporated. Daniel let out a low whistle. That was something. I returned to my office. Employees passed me with nods of respect, sympathy, or quiet acknowledgement. Daniel followed. You handled yourself better than most would, he said. I'm not proud, I said. I'm relieved. He set more papers on my desk. Here's the official confirmation of their severance terms. Minimal. They'll feel this hit for a long time. I stared at the documents. They already do. Daniel grabbed his briefcase. If you need anything else, call me. But honestly, you're at the finish line now. I looked out the window at the city below. Feels strange, I said, watching everything fall apart for them. Strange or satisfying? He asked. I thought for a long moment. Neither. It's just... Maya found me standing outside the building after a long meeting, the cool air settling around us. She gave a small wave. You look lighter than before, she said. Do I? I asked, rubbing the back of my neck. I don't exactly feel light. You will, she replied gently. Healing doesn't happen all at once. I nodded, letting her words settle. I've been thinking a lot about everything. About who I was, and who I'm becoming. Maya leaned against the railing. Then tell me, who are you becoming? I don't know yet, I admitted. But definitely not the man who kept forgiving people who never valued him. She gave a soft laugh. That man deserved better. I looked at her. Yeah, He did. My phone buzzed. I checked the screen. Lena. Again. I sighed. Maya raised an eyebrow. Still trying? Still, I said. But I'm done engaging. What does she want this time? Closure, I guess. Or a chance to rewrite the past. I put the phone away. But I don't owe her that. Do you want to see her? She asked. No, I said instantly. Not anymore. Maya smiled faintly. Good. Your peace matters more. We walked toward the parking lot together. She asked, so what happens now? After everything? I rebuild, I said. Slowly, honestly, carefully, and alone. I hesitated. Maybe not forever, but for now. I'm learning to stand without falling apart. She nodded. That's a good place to start. I glanced at her. What about you? Why do you care so much about how I'm doing? She laughed softly. Because Aiden would kill me if I didn't? Or maybe because I know what broken looks like, and what rebuilding looks like too. Yeah. I asked. And which one am I right now? Both, she said. But more rebuilding than breaking. Her confidence in me felt strange, comforting but unfamiliar. I swallowed hard. You know, I used to think revenge would be the thing that fixed me. And now I know it was just a step, not the destination. Peace is the real ending, she said. Exactly. We reached her car. She opened the door but paused, looking at me with a softness I hadn't felt in months. You're going to be okay, Ethan? I smiled. I'm starting to believe that. Good, she whispered. You deserve a life that doesn't hurt. Her words hit something deep inside me, but not painfully, more like a warm reminder that not everyone in the world was out to break me. I stepped back. Drive safe. You too, she said. Then she added, quieter, and keep moving forward. I watched her drive off before heading to my own car. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel the weight of everything pressing on my chest. It was still there, but lighter, bearable. My phone buzzed again. Another call from Lena. I let it ring out. Then I blocked her number. No anger. No satisfaction. Just finality. I whispered to myself, I'm done carrying people who never carried me. As I started the engine, I caught my reflection in the rearview mirror. I looked tired but stronger. A version of myself I'd never taken time to meet. I pulled out of the lot, watching the road stretch ahead. For once, the future didn't look frightening. It looked open. I didn't know where it would lead or how long healing would take, but I knew one thing with absolute certainty. I was moving forward. And I wasn't looking back.